right, welcome back to this second video of 4 regarding how we factor quadratic expressions. Last time we dealt with things where we had just something like x squared minus 8x plus 12, and we factored that, where those were relatively simple. Well, these ones are going to get a little bit trickier, where we have a leading coefficient that does not equal 1 anymore. In this case, our leading coefficient is 3. Now, what we're going to use is we're going to use this this method that I just learned very recently, and I think this method is really cool. I think it's really helpful and can make this process really simple. Now, just as a quick comment on this, we could factor 3x squared. That's a terrible 3 minus 17x plus 10. I lost my x here. Plus 10. We could factor this using the method that we used in the previous answer, or the previous slide. We could do that. It would work. Wouldn't have any problems with it. Except it's a little bit different. Now we're thinking, okay, well, now it's 3. What gives us 3x squared? Well, it's 3x and x. Not too bad, because there's only one way to do that. Now we're looking at factors of 10 that will go in here, but it's not any longer factors of 10 that combine to give us 17. It's factors of 10, when they get multiplied, give us 17. And that's just not quite as nice as what we had before. So let me show you this new method that I just learned that is really nice for doing this type of stuff. Let me just check and make sure that my line weight is where I want it. Okay. So this is called the Xbox method. Start by making an x, and right now I'm just going to give you the general form of this. So typically these quadratics are in the form y. Let me just back up a little bit here. Let me make a. Typically these quadratics are in this form: y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the form that they're in. So for our Xbox method, up here you're going to take a times c, and down here you're going to put your b value, which your b value. There we go. And then we'll talk about what the box will be in just a little bit, but we'll go and draw the box down here too. We'll do this, the real example, and then the hypothetical example side by side. So we have 3x squared minus 17x plus 10. So in our x here, I'm going to put the number 30, because that is 3 times 10. And down here I'm going to put my b value, which is negative 17. Okay. So kind of like we did before, what we're looking for now are factors of 30 that are going to combine to give us negative 17. What I mean by, so factors of 30 things that multiply to give us 30 give us negative 17. Now I'm going to tell you right now, because this is, because they're added together and give us negative 17, this is going to be negative. So because this is a positive 30, so negative times a negative had to give us positive 30 and give us negative 17. So our options for this are negative 1 and negative 30. We have negative 3 and negative 10. We have negative 5 and negative 6. And I missed one, negative 2 and negative 15. I didn't intentionally put that one last, but as you look, which of these are going to combine together to give us this middle term of this b term of negative 17? It's negative 2 and negative 15. That's the one that we need. So we're going to write this as negative 2x here and negative 15x here. So now, what do we do this? How do we use this? So this is where our box comes into play. In our box, we always put in this top left corner ax squared, and down here we always put c. So let's do that here as well. Okay, so we're making our box. Ax squared, that's 3x squared, and my c value in this case is 10. And what goes in these boxes? Well, that's where we put our minus 2x and minus 15x. Minus 2x and minus 15x. Now, the nice thing about this is it does not matter what order you do that in. I'm going to use a slightly different color next. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that to be red. All right, so it doesn't matter where you put these. The 2x can go here, the 15x can go here, and vice versa. It does not matter. But here's what we're going to do now. Going in this direction to start out with. We're going to look at 3x squared and minus 15x. We're going to say to ourselves, what What can I factor out of both of these terms? What do they have in common? Well, they both are divisible by 3, and they both have an x term. So they both have a 3x in there. And again, still going in this direction, negative 2x and 10, those both have a common factor of 2. Okay? Now we're going to go in this direction. 3x squared and negative 2x, what do they both have in common? Well, there isn't a common factor between the 3 and negative 2, but they both have this common factor of an x. So I'm going to put that down here. And then negative 15x and 10, these both have a common factor of 5. And that's basic. This is more or less what we have. We're not quite done. We don't have any of the signs, but we have some of the skills from last time that can help us. So this is 3x and 2 and x and 5. Now here's the thing. That is a terrible 5. There we go. There's our 5. What symbols go here? Well, in the last video we talked about how when we're looking at these, we look at the symbols here. I look at this, and this symbol tells me that if it's a plus sign, both of these signs are going to be the same. Specifically, what are they going to be? Are they going to be positive or negative? They're both going to be negative. So this becomes a minus here, and this becomes a minus here. So 3x minus 2 times x minus 5. Just like last time, how do you tell whether or not this worked or not? How do you know that this is done the right way? Well, you can FOIL it, and you'll see. If you were to go back and multiply these out, let's change line color one more time. Let's do this green. 3x times x, that's 3x squared. 3x times negative 5, that's negative 15x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Combine our like terms here, you'll see that we do end up with what our original problem was. So, as I said, this is actually brand new to me, and for the more complicated ones like this is definitely the way to go. This will always assist you in getting your right answer. So, again, I call this the Xbox method, and it's really, really nice. Let's do 2 more examples on here, and then before we move on to the next video. So, let me get this cleared. All right, and let's do this. All right, so we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 3. And so we're going to set up our Xbox method. Recall, up here we're going to take our a times b, so that's 2 times 3, which is 6. And down here we're going to put 7. Not a whole lot of factors of 6 that are going to that we have here. Really, the only options we have are 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. Again, this is a positive 3, so these are going to be the same symbol. Specifically, they're going to be positive. And so what factors of 6 combine to give you 7? Well, that's going to be 1 and 6. So that's the x part. Let's go to the box part of this for our Xbox method. Okay, so with our Xbox here, again, here we put our 2x squared. Here's going to go our 3. And it doesn't matter what box we put these other ones in here. We're going to have an x and a 6x. Starting in this direction, we're going to see what common factors these guys have. 2x squared and 6x. 2 and 6 both have a common factor of 2. And the x squared parts both have a common factor of x. And then x and 3 don't have any common factors because x is its only factor, and 3 is prime, which means, well, 3 is divisible by 1. So their common factor that we use in this case is their common factor is 1. Now going in this direction, 2x squared and x both have a common factor of x, and 6x and 3 both have a common factor of 3. And so what is our answer for this? Well, it's going to be 2x and 1 and x and 3. What are the symbols that go in there? And again, with this method, it's kind of new to me, but again, this plus tells me my symbols will be the same. Specifically, they're both going to be positive. So it's 2x plus 1 and x plus 3. Last one is a little bit trickier here. So we have 11x squared plus 14x minus 16. So with this, again, doing our x portion of this, 11 times negative 16 is negative 176, negative 176. And what goes down here is 14. Now, the part that makes this tricky is negative 176 has a lot of factors. Lot of factors. In fact, you could come up with, I think it's 10 different combinations for this. I mean, we already know we have 11 and negative 16. We have negative 11 and 16 would also give this. We could have 8 and negative 22. We could also have 22 and negative 8. Now I'm going to stop here. Like I said, there are a whole bunch of other ones, which is what makes this hard. I'll just do a couple more. You know, you also have 4 and 44, and one would be positive, one would be negative. We also have 2 and 88, and then 1 and 176. So we have, and then again, these all have positive and negative options for them, but I'm stopping here because I actually don't need to do any more work. Again, we're looking for these that combine to give us 14. We have it right here, 22 and negative 8. So going to our box then, we have 11x squared. Just a quick comment, going back to this, the reason I'm stopping, I wanted to stop here, is that I have one that works. I don't need to go any further. I don't need to do any work after that. All right, so to finish this up, ax squared, and then goes here, and then c goes here. And now in these spots we have 22x and a negative 8x. That's a negative 8x. And again, the beauty of this is that it doesn't matter where we put them. We can put negative 8x here. We'll put 22x here, and it's going to come up with the same answer. Again, going in this direction to start out with. 11x squared minus 8x, the only thing they have in common is the single x. 22x minus 16, these both have a common factor of 2, and that's it. And then going in this direction, 11x squared and 22x, they have a common factor of 11x. And negative 8x and negative 16, they both have a common factor of negative 8. So what this is going to turn out to be is going to be x plus 2 times 11x minus 8. All right, there we go, and that's it. That's how that Xbox method works. Like I said before, we could use some of the other methods that we've had previously, but this method works out really nicely pretty much every single time. It's really, really nice, and I'm definitely a fan of it after using it just a few times. So definitely use that as you are doing these as well.